Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the ProTech Runt 5. This particular one in the Wharncliffe configuration. They have Wharncliffes, they have reverse tantos, perhaps another blade shape. I will link this knife down below so you guys can check out all the different versions that are currently available. There are quite a few, and this is not a super expensive ProTech, so I urge you to check that out. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon right down below, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. This is not a big knife, definitely intentionally not a big knife. Meant to be a California legal, if I'm not mistaken, side opening automatic knife. Overall length of the Runt 5 coming in at about 5 1/8. Blade length definitely coming in less than 2 inches, 1.9 inches on the blade. And the overall cutting edge is about 1.85 inches. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Rat Model 2. So you can see here, yep, it's a small knife. How about up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Benchmade Bugout? Once again, as you can see, it's a small knife. And one more, even though it's probably not necessary at this point, the Spyderco PM2 and Para 3. Yeah, small knife. Let's go ahead and do carry profile up against the Spyderco Para 3. Thickness coming in, surprisingly, exactly the same as the Para 3. You might call that fairly thick for a small knife, but then again, it's a really, really small object. Keeping things in perspective. Overall length and height, yeah, it's not going to be a difficult object to carry. It's really about the size of a lighter, right? The little cheapy Bic lighters, maybe a little bit smaller, something like that. Let's do blade stock thickness. Get out my calipers here. Blade stock thickness on the Runt, probably not coming in at anything super aggressive. Yeah, so there you go. About 110 thousandths on the spine. What are the materials? As per usual with ProTech, no, I'm sorry, I was about to say, as per usual, CPM 154 or 154 CM. I keep forgetting, I've got a lot of ProTechs here. This is CPM 20 CV, which is going to make a lot of people happy. I really hope that they move a lot of their stuff to 20 CV and or S45 VN. It's really nice to see 20. I think 20 CV is a perfect steel for something like this. That's something that's just almost primarily going to be used to just open packages and boxes. Just a little, you know, item of convenience, right? I mean, that's what all pocket knives are, but really great. And then aluminum, which is generally the case with these ProTech production automatic knives. Let's go ahead and weigh it. Wow, surprise, it doesn't weigh that much, 2.15 ounces, but the ratios aren't perfect, 2.15 ounces. Anything that's under 3 ounces on this channel is considered ultra lightweight, regardless of the blade to handle ratio or the cutting edge to weight ratio, the overall length to weight ratio. I just don't care about that. It's a teeny tiny object that's not going to take up a lot of space in your pocket, and you're certainly not going to notice it. I think most people will be just fine. Yes, even if you like to wear athletic shorts all the time, knock yourself out. This is a little tiny knife that's really not going to bother you. Let's go ahead and get out my tools, check the hardware. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the part of my description that talks about my tools. And you know what? I'm just remembering, we can't. Well, I mean, we can. I do have the Hex Bits. I'm just not going to bother with it. These are Hex and Hex back here. And then we have Torx for the pocket clip screws. I don't mind Hex. I've definitely adjusted my ProTech knives with my other, I've got another bit set that's got the Hex in it. It's not a big deal. I really wish that they would just move everything to Torx, make it a little bit easier. I don't think it's something we need to flare up about. I had somebody get really, really upset a while back when I did a ProTech review and start complaining about the Hex heads versus the Torx. I don't think that's a weird thing to invest a lot of emotional energy in. Coming from somebody who reviews knives, right? It's like, whoa, it's not that big of a deal. It would be nice if they changed it, but it's not a big deal. If you want to adjust this knife, you can. It's pretty easy. If you want to take it apart, just understand you're working with a coil spring and the pivot. It's probably not going to be as simple as taking apart something like the Rat, right? Or a simple frame lock, but just be aware of it. Have we done everything? I think we have. Let's go ahead and move on here. This thing has an enormous amount of power, and ProTech knives fire, they have the best quality action of any other side opening automatic knife on the market. I still, to this day, believe that ProTech absolutely makes the best side opening automatic knife in the market. And I think it's great that they're made in the United States because I live in the United States. So I like seeing stuff like that. It's exponentially more fun to me when something that is this small kicks like a mule. It's you're gonna have to take my word for it. This thing fires hard. It feels good. It doesn't feel like you're gonna push that button and it's gonna go nyeh. No, it fires hard. This is really, really cool. This one is blue. They come in a few different colors. They've got more spicy versions, right? If you want a spicy meatball, they've got ones that are textured, the ones that have the inlays on the buttons. They got the special ones that have the Damascus steel. This is just a standard one, blue. They got black. Maybe they got a different color. I don't know. Blade is tumbled. I think that's perfect. If I was going to pick one of these up, I would probably just go in a simple black aluminum and a tumbled blade. Looks great. I think like both the main blade shapes that I'm seeing, which are the reverse Tanto and the Wharncliffe blade, I think they're both excellent because they both drop. Like the nose or the tip of the blade is down here, which makes it a lot easier to dig into packages or to do draw cuts or things that you normally do with your knife. So I really like that. Ergonomically, this is a 3-finger knife. It just is. Unless you have the teeniest, tiniest hands, this is a 3-finger knife. So it's that automatically is something I'm like, eh. But it's not like, you know, oh, surprise, it's a 3-finger position knife. It's not like ProTech was like, we're trying to make it, you know, room for 4 fingers. Oops, it's only 3. No, they knew, right? They had to keep the ratios and the aesthetic a certain way, but also make the blade length small enough that it's legal in areas where these types of knives are not normally legal, right? So that being said, yeah, you can get a really good purchase on this thing. The thing that bothers me is that they're using a clip that they use on a lot of different ProTechs. This is a good clip. It's just too big for this knife. Now, I get it. It's not like they're going to make a special clip just for this, but I wish that they would, now that they do have quite a few little, or fairly, they have a decent number of teeny tiny little OTFs, if I'm not I'm sorry, not OTFs, automatic knives, if I'm not mistaken. If they plan to do that moving forward, it would be nice if we had maybe literally this, but just shortened up. You know, it's like, where's my bug out? The clip on the bug out would have been, I think, a better length, just shorter, right? Shorten it back to there, and that way you're not feeling it so, it's digging right into this area right here. Now, is that really that big of a deal? I mean, how hard am I going to be squeezing this? How hard am I going to be using this, right? Probably not really. It's just, it's a little nitpick. Blade looks good, reasonably thin behind the edge. We're not looking at any type of laser beam here, but I also wouldn't call it thick. It's definitely going to do what you want it to do for EDC. There's a flat that carries out to 80, maybe 75% the length of the blade. So I get it feels silly to talk about how durable the geometry of the blade is because, again, this is basically just an automatic package opener, right? That tickles the enthusiast fancy. That's really what's happening here. But the edge is done well. The blade is done well, like most ProTechs are. The pocket clip, like I said, is good. I don't prefer when they come out and the bill comes straight. I like it to just continuously rise so I don't have to fight it on the pocket seam, but it's fine. The screws are recessed under here, and it is a truly deep carry clip, which is great on this knife. I think that this knife is the type of thing that you want sunk completely into your pocket. This is great for a lot of reasons. If you love automatic knives and you're going to travel, this is great. If you work in an office that doesn't necessarily dislike knives, they're just kind of, oh crap, why are you carrying your Cold Steel Espada XL in here, right? This is, you know, also good. If you're wearing light pants and you just don't want a big cumbersome object, right? You don't have to necessarily live in California to enjoy a little automatic knife. There's lots of reasons for people to have something like this. Do you need it? No. Do we need 99% of the knives that we've collected, people? Huh? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's not dissect here what we need and don't need. I think we know exactly what's going on here. But yeah, it's cool. Really, I always talk about lockup. Lockup is completely and totally solid. Completely and totally solid. If you're wondering what I'm doing there, what I'm doing is I'm releasing it and then letting it lock up with less impact to see if that button changes the way that it, no, that button lock or that plunge lock is acting exactly the same way. It's also something I do, I check with automatic knives is right here off the stop. I push it back a little bit and I see if the spring tension is still enough just right here to throw that blade into the open position. No matter how little room is left, it's going to go all the way to the lockout position, which is fantastic. Centering, perfect. It's a good knife. How much are these? 134 bucks, right? Now, $134, right? If you just reduce that to, if the simplest way of thinking, I have a character for this. I don't know if you're familiar with him. The simplest way of thinking, right, is to reduce the size of the object to the appropriate value. That is the simplest way to go about that. So people are going to be like, is he insulting my thought process? Yes, I am. Don't think of it like that. It's an American-made product. Yeah, it's small, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have value, right? There are knives that are the same size as this that cost a lot more. So believe me, if you're offended now, oh, don't look around. Don't look around. It'll ruin your day, right? 134 bucks, 20 CV, aluminum, American-made, good firing power, good legality, right? Less offensive depending on the circumstances. This versatility is the name of the game here, right? If you need a bigger blade, buy a bigger blade, right? I chop pineapples in half every day. Then get a bigger blade, right? But for those of us who just want to carry a simple object and have a few enthusiast elements and not break the bank, yeah, this is one of those knives that I can pretty much recommend to everybody. I think it's a good idea to have, it doesn't necessarily have to be this. I think it's a good idea to have a smaller, more compact knife in your rotation. And if you like the idea of the Runt, I think this is a great one to go for, especially considering it's CPM 20 CV. This is a no-brainer for me. It's going to go on my most recommended knives playlist. I have absolutely no problem with the price. I think that this makes a great knife for you. And with the holiday season coming up, I think this knife makes a great gift. As long as automatic knives in and of themselves, right, regardless of length, are actually legal in your area, yeah, I think a lot of people would like this, even people who are unfamiliar with knives. There's something that's fun about an automatic knife, but a lot less intimidating if it's this size. So this is a cool one. Very, very cool. That's going to be pretty much it. Like I said, there'll be links for this right down below so you can check it out. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.